All right, everyone. Good morning. Welcome to the 187 District Court. Sorry about the late start. As I said, before we went live, my computer was doing updates, and for some reason, it took longer than usual. And of course, for some reason, with this new computer system, it doesn't tell you when it's going to start its update, so it does it automatically. So, in the 187, for the attorneys, it's first come, first serve. So I'll call your name and that's the order you will appear in. To all the defendants who are on the screen, make sure you're on mute. Your attorney's name will be called. Your name will not be called. Rest assured, if you don't hear your attorney's name, that means that they're Zooming in another court, but you will have a chance to see your attorney today. If you are not stationary, please get stationary because when you move around, it makes me nauseous. It makes it hard for the court reporter to see. So just make sure you find a stationary location. To all the persons who are in custody, you're not allowed to use the chat box. If you use the chat box, you will be sent back. You're also not allowed to pick up dates. This is not the Bachelorette. It is not the Bachelor. You are not allowed to pick up dates here. To everyone who's at their home, even though you're physically at your home, you're in the 187 District Court. If you are not professional on this Zoom screen, what will happen is you will be required to appear in court. So no cooking breakfast, no putting on makeup or any of that. That should have already been done before you appear on this Zoom screen. I'm going to open the breakout rooms. When I open the breakout rooms, it will invite everyone to go there. Do not go to a breakout room unless I specifically assign you to a breakout room. To all the attorneys, if you have an agreement, no matter how small the agreement, you need to send that in a chat box to Norma Ferguson. She's the court coordinator. She's listed as Ferguson coordinator. If your client is on bond, she will need an email address for your client. So I'm going to call the names of the attorneys. The first one is going to be Joe Richardson, David Castillo, Sophia Martinez, Christine McDonald, Larry Meadows, Victoria Cruz, Todd Coronado, Rodolfo Zapata, Lorraine Ephraim, Jorge Aristotelides, William Davidson, Matthew Finch, Oscar Hernandez. Is there any attorney's name that I missed? Okay. First person up is Joe Richardson. Joe Richardson, who do you have?
I have Isaac Alcorta. He will be in the courtroom soon. His mother called. His phone does not work anymore. That's why his mother called. I told her that I said, make sure he's there as soon as possible.
He's here.
Oh, Isaac Alcorta is there?
It's Isaac it's Isaac Alcorta.
There's an Alcaraz, but that's not him. It's Isaac Alcorta. I said, Isaac, you need to get there as close to 9 o'clock. You need to be there at 9 o'clock or as close thereafter. His mother assured him he would be there. I have a juvenile at 10, but I assume that Isaac will be there sometime soon.
All right, then what I'll do is I'll let you confer with someone from Criminal Trial Division. I'll send you to breakout room number 1. Attorneys, you will be sent to breakout rooms. The prosecutors can move throughout the rooms freely, so please be patient. I'll send you to breakout room number 1.
I had Marcus yesterday, so if Marcus wants to come back again, he was, I told him we'd pick it up today if Isaac showed up, which is what he's going to do.
All right, thank you.
They'd be excused at 10 o'clock for juvenile.
No, you're going to breakout room number 1.
Okay.
Yes.
Thank
All right, you're welcome. David Castillo.
Good morning, Judge. I have Mallory Garcia. She is a recall from yesterday. I don't see her as a participant. However, we can call her to see if she's on the line already.
All right, just one moment. What is your client? Is it
Mallory Garcia?
CTD?
Yes, Judge.
All right, I'll send you to breakout room number 2. And I give every client until 10:30 to show up.
Judge, I have a 144 for 9:30.
Okay, I'll send you to breakout room number 2.
Okay, thank you, Judge.
Sure. Sophia Martinez.
Judge, I'm present and my client is present. Our paperwork is done and we're ready for a plea.
All right. Who is your client?
Eric Lopez.
All right. Is the clerk on the screen?
Yes, Judge.
I'm sending you to breakout room number 3
Thank
with
you.
Eric Lopez. And please, can you check to see if their paperwork is complete?
Yes. Thank you.
So if Mr. Lopez and Ms. Martinez, if you'll go to breakout room number 3, they'll see if your paperwork is ready. And everyone, just give me a moment, please. All right, the next person up is Christine McDonald.
Good morning, Judge. I have Emily Roland reset from yesterday. I'm not seeing her on the screen, though.
All right, we will see if she shows. I will send you to breakout room number 4.
Thank you, Judge.
Larry Meadows.
Good morning, Judge.
Yes, who do you have?
Juan Aguirre. He should be in the courtroom. I talked to him this morning.
He is in the courtroom. What is the cause number?
I don't have that on me right now. But I was dealing with Joe Ray Garcia on this.
No, is it criminal trial division or is it family violence?
It's criminal trial division, Judge. It's 2020 CR 12202.
Judge, I
It's
think
actually
that's,
a family violence case, Judge. It's assault choking.
we started the plea on this one the other day, Judge, and he had to come in the courtroom.
All right. So everyone, just give us a moment. Is there a Juan Aguirre in the courtroom, please?
Yes, Your Honor, he is here.
All right, everyone, we're going to take this plea. Who would be the prosecutor?
Joe Ray, Judge.
Court is calling 2020 CR 12202, State of Texas versus Juan Carlos Aguirre. If we're going to have parties announced for the record, please, for the state.
Joe Ray Garcia for the state.
For the defense.
Larry Meadows for the defendant.
And are you Juan Aguirre?
Yes, ma'am.
We're proceeding by video because of the pandemic. Any objections from the defense?
No objections, Judge.
Any objections from the state?
None from the state.
Mr. Aguirre, I'm showing you a document entitled Defendant's Consent to Appear by Video. Did you review that document with your attorney and did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily consented to appear by video. And for the record, the defendant is in the courtroom and this is one of the days where the court is allowed to have in-person hearings. And regardless of the mandate, I appreciate that you're wearing a mask. Next, I'm going to show you what's entitled Application for Deferred Adjudication or Community Supervision. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it and did you electronically sign it?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, I'm showing you the discovery acknowledgement. Have you received all the discovery in this case and did you review it with your client?
Yes, we have, Judge.
Court will find that the state is in compliance with discovery. Mr. Aguirre, I'm showing you a document entitled True Bill of Indictment. Did you review that document with your attorney and did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, do you waive the reading of the indictment?
Yes, we do, Judge.
State, are you proceeding on the indictment as presented?
Yes, Judge.
Mr. Aguirre, I'm going to show you a document entitled Court Admonishments and Defendants Waivers and Affidavit of Admonitions. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it, and did you electronically sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand what you're charged with is assault, family choking, strangulation? That's a third-degree felony. The range of punishment is anywhere from 2 to 10 years in prison and up to a $10,000 fine. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
If you have a plea bargain agreement with the state, the court does not have to follow your plea bargain agreement. If for any reason the court does not follow your plea bargain agreement and gives you more than you bargained for, the fact that you entered a plea will not be used against you and you will be allowed to withdraw your plea. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state will call, and the right to remain silent?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand by entering this plea bargain agreement, you were giving up those rights?
Yes, ma'am.
And did you intend to give up those rights and enter into a plea bargain agreement in this case?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand if the court were to grant your application for deferred adjudication, if for any reason your deferred adjudication were revoked, the court could find you guilty, not grant you community supervision, and sentence you up to 10 years in prison and up to a $10,000 fine? Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, has your client been able to provide you with any defenses to this offense?
Yes.
Do you believe he has a rational as well as a factual understanding of the charges against him?
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you believe he's currently competent and was legally sane at the time of the offense?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Aguirre, has anyone threatened you, coerced you, or placed you in fear to get you to enter this plea?
No, ma'am.
Has anyone promised you anything other than the plea bargain agreement to get you to enter this plea?
No, ma'am.
Are you satisfied with the way you've been represented?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you a U.S. citizen?
Yes, ma'am.
Court will find that the defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived his right to jury trial. Next, I'm showing you the plea bargain page. Did you review that page with your attorney, and did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am.
According to the plea bargain agreement, fine is to be assessed at $1,000. That will be probated. The state recommends deferred adjudication. There's an affirmative finding of family violence. There's to be no harmful or injurious contact with Anissa Guerra, A-N-Y-S-S-A. Did you understand that to be the plea bargain agreement?
Yes, ma'am.
Defense, is that the plea bargain agreement?
Yes, it is, Your Honor.
State, is that the plea bargain agreement?
Yes, Judge.
Did you understand, Mr. Aguirre, with the family violence finding, you are not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand with an affirmative finding of family violence, you're not allowed to be designated as primary custodial parent?
Yes, ma'am.
And again, did you understand that to be the entirety of the plea bargain agreement?
Yes, ma'am.
Next, I'm showing you the paragraph entitled Waiver of Appeal. Did you review that paragraph with your attorney? Did you understand it? And did you electronically sign it in both places?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand by signing that you're waiving your right to appeal? The only items that can be appealed are written pretrial motions that have been filed, heard, and ruled upon by the court. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, have there been any such motions?
No, Judge.
Outside the agreement, the state is asking for your deferred adjudication to be for a term of 3 years, 120 hours community service, restitution, in the BIPP course. Did you understand those are recommendations from the state and the court does not have to follow those recommendations?
Yes, ma'am.
Then to the offenses charged in the indictment, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
No contest.
State, any evidence to support the plea?
State offers State's Exhibit 1 and all its attachments.
Any objections?
No objection.
Mr. Aguirre, I'm going to show you a document entitled Waiving Consent to Stipulation of Testimony and Stipulations. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it, and did you electronically sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes, ma'am.
Again, did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call, and the right to remain silent?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand that today the state will be presenting evidence in the form of witnesses' statements and police reports, but most importantly, there will be no live testimony? Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived and consented to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. Court will accept into evidence State's Exhibits 1 and attachments and review the same. Under reviewing states exhibits 1 and attachments, the court will find there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty, and the court will find you guilty. Sufficiency of evidence to find you guilty. The court will defer finding of guilt as you've applied for deferred adjudication. Are you proceeding with sentencing?
Yes, Your Honor.
Is there anything you wish to say on behalf of your client?
Nothing, Your Honor.
Mr. Aguirre, is there anything you wish to say?
No, ma'am.
All right. Do you have any children?
No, ma'am.
All right. How old are you?
I'm 28.
All right. You're 28 years old. I've read the police report. Why are you arguing over skateboarding?
It wasn't really over skateboarding. It was more to that. It's a contradicting, more of manipulation, more of a kind of con.
No. I've read the police report. In the police report, it says that you and Anissa Guerra were supposed to go skateboarding with friends. She took a shower. You felt she was taking too long, and your friends had already left to go skateboarding. And then there was this back and forth where you would throw her clothes out, but then have her get her clothes again and say, we're not going anywhere. So again, this did start over the foolishness of you going to go skateboard with your friends. So let's start with the truth. You've already pled to it. I've already found there's sufficient evidence to find you guilty. I'm deferring finding of guilt. I'm reading the police report. I'm trying to understand, as a 28-year-old, why is skateboarding so important to you that it results in you having a felony charge leveled against you of choking?
And there's really no explanation for it other than if you were there, you'd not understand, but maybe you'd have a more grasp on the situation. I made a mistake. It is over something childish, but it was.
Oh, it's not a mistake. You made a choice.
Yes, ma'am. I made a choice, and I'm dealing with that now. And it wasn't really specifically over skateboarding. It was more to it than that. And all I can say is I'm sorry and just own my responsibility for the choice I made, Your Honor.
State, does she want to have contact with him? Why is she still having contact with him?
Yes, Judge, we've been in contact and that was at her request.
I should make it as a part of your conditions that you're not allowed to skateboard, but not going to do it. Do you have employment?
Yes, ma'am.
How many hours a week do you work?
About 40 or more. Just depends on the jobs we have going.
And what type of employment is it?
Plumber.
All right, this is what the court is going to do. The court is going to sentence you to 3 years deferred adjudication, $1,000 fine that will be probated, affirmative finding of family violence, no harmful or injurious contact with Anissa Guerra, proof of full-time employment within 30 days, no employment with vulnerable persons. That means that you cannot be a babysitter and you cannot be a home health care provider. 120 hours of community service restitution, or you can pay $7.25 per hour to the San Antonio Food Bank. BIPP course, regular Zoom reporting to probation. Random UAs. If you're drug tested today, what are the results going to be?
I just fell for marijuana.
Anything else?
No, ma'am.
All right, I'm going to want a UA today. By 2 p.m.
Yes, ma'am. And is there a specific spot I got to go to? The one off San Pedro?
Probation will let you know.
Okay.
And also, Rebecca, he needs to be tested for levels. You need to stop the marijuana use. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
I'm going to show you a document entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal. Did you review that document with your attorney and did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am.
Because this is a plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement, and because you waived your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
And because there's an affirmative finding of family violence, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. With that, I'll send you to a breakout room with probation. After probation has gone over conditions with you, you are excused. And Rebecca, I'm going to send you to breakout room number 5. And Mr.
Okay.
Meadows, I'll send you and your client to number 5.
Okay, Judge.
Thank you.
Thank you. And maybe excuse after that, Judge?
Yes,
That's all I have.
thank you. Victoria Cruz, who do you have?
Good morning, Your Honor. We were instructed to return on Caesar George. I am conferring with Tom, and we need to speak privately, please.
All right,
Mr. George is present.
thank you. I'll send you to breakout room number 5. And do you need to speak with Tom?
Yes, please.
Yes, all right. I'll send you to breakout room number 5. Todd Carnata, who do you have?
Yes, Your Honor. Lauro Martinez. It's a recall from yesterday. I already have an offer from Marcus yesterday. It was just recalled today to try to get a hold of him, and I have still had no luck.
All right, I will allow him till 10:30. So if you want to zoom out and zoom back in at 10:30.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. All right, Rodolfo Zepeda.
Yes, Your Honor. This is a recall from yesterday. This is Stephanie de la Cerda. I tried to get a hold of her. I talked to her mother, but her mother hadn't heard from her, so I don't know if she's on or not.
All right, I'll give your client till 10:30.
May I be excused until then?
Yes.
All right, thank you.
Judge?
Oh, I'm sorry. Yes, number 6.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Judge, this is Joe. I'm back. If Isaac Alcorta is not in the courtroom, I'm still waiting for him.
All right, I'll give you till 10:30.
May I go to juvenile from 10 until about 10:15?
Yes.
Thank you.
All right,
Judge,
and
and we're
Sophia,
back.
yes, I have your paperwork. Just give me a moment. Lorraine
problem.
Efron?
Yes, Your Honor, I'm here.
Yes, who do you have?
Miss Villalva, Edna Villalva,
Spell the last name for me, please.
Villalva.
And is it criminal trial division or family violence?
Family. And Joe Ray is who I've been talking to.
Okay, I will send you to breakout room number 7.
Okay, thank you, Judge.
Sure. Jorge Aristotelides. Who do you have?
Good morning. Good morning, Your Honor. We have Edgar Sanchez.
Is it family violence or criminal trial division?
Family violence.
It's for sentencing, Judge.
Right.
Okay, just give me a moment. Bill Davidson, who do you have? You're muted.
Yes, Your Honor. I have Melvin Owens, and he was only on the docket because I requested an investigator for him.
Yeah, I usually don't have that. Just give me a
Judge,
moment.
I'm sorry, Judge, it was the last minute add-on for yesterday. I did tell Lupin, or Robert did pull the motion for you, Judge.
All right, just give me a second, Bill.
Sure.
Matthew Finch. Who do you have?
Good morning, Judge. I've got Cody Wise Carver, was recalled from a miscommunication last week. He's present in the Zoom as well. I probably need to confer with the prosecutor. This is a trial division case.
Okay. I'll send you to breakout room number 8. A prosecutor will meet you there.
Thank you, Judge.
Judge, I send you a chat.
All right. Oscar Hernandez.
Morning. I have Fabian Herrera. It's a criminal trial. I've been dealing with Tom Nesbitt.
Okay, I will send you to breakout room number 9.
You.
All right, and who is the prosecutor on Eric Lopez?
It was
Laura?
Joe Ray that I dealt with.
All right, Laura, are you able to take the plea on Eric Lopez or either David Martin?
Yes, Judge, I can take it.
All right, thank you. All right, Mr. Lopez, I need you to unmute for me, please.
Okay.
All right, court is calling 2020 CR 6559, State of Texas versus Eric Christopher Lopez. Can I have parties announced for the record, please, for the state?
Laura Metzold.
For the defense?
Sophia Martinez for Mr. Lopez.
And are you Mr. Lopez?
Yes, ma'am, I am.
I'm going to show you a document entitled Defendant's Consent to Appear by Video. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it, and did you electronically sign it?
Yes, ma'am, Your Honor.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily consented to appear by video. Next, I'm showing you what's entitled Application for Deferred Adjudication or Community Supervision. Did you review this document with your attorney? Did you understand it, and did you electronically sign it?
Yes, ma'am, Your Honor.
And we're appearing by video because of the pandemic. Any objections from the state?
No, ma'am.
Any objections from the defense?
No, ma'am.
No, Your Honor.
Defense, I'm showing you a document entitled Discovery Acknowledgement. Have you received all the discovery in this case, and did you review it with your client?
I did, Your Honor.
Court will find that the state is in compliance with discovery. Mr. Lopez, I'm showing you a document entitled True Bill of Indictment. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am, Your Honor.
Counsel, do you waive the reading of the indictment?
We do, Your Honor.
State, it appears that you are proceeding on the lesser included offense of assault, bodily injury, family, household. Is that correct?
That's my understanding, yes, Judge.
Any objections?
No objections, Your Honor.
Mr. Lopez, I'm going to show you a document entitled Court's Admonishment and Defendant's Waivers and Affidavit of Admonitions. Did you review this document with your attorney? Did you understand it, and did you electronically sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes, ma'am, Your Honor.
Did you understand the state is proceeding on the lesser included offense of assault, bodily injury, family, household? That's a Class A misdemeanor. The range of punishment is up to 1 year in the Bexar County Jail and up to a $4,000 fine. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am, Your Honor.
If you have a plea bargain agreement with the state, the court does not have to follow your plea bargain agreement. If for any reason the court does not follow your plea bargain agreement and gives you more than you bargained for, the fact that you entered a plea will not be used against you, and you will be allowed to withdraw your plea. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am, Your Honor.
Did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call, and the right to remain silent?
Yes, ma'am, Your Honor.
Did you understand by entering this plea bargain agreement you were giving up those rights?
Yes, ma'am, Your Honor.
And did you intend to give up those rights and enter into a plea bargain agreement in this case?
Yes, ma'am, Your Honor.
Did you understand that if the court were to grant your application for deferred adjudication, if for any reason your deferred adjudication were revoked, the court could find you guilty, not grant you community supervision, and sentence you up to 1 year in the Bexar County Jail and up to a $4,000 fine? Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am, Your Honor.
Counsel, has your client been able to provide you with any defenses to this offense?
He has, Your Honor.
Do you believe he has a rational as well as a factual understanding of the charges against him?
I do, Your Honor.
Do you believe he's currently competent and was legally sane at the time of the offense?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Lopez, has anyone threatened you, coerced you, or placed you in fear to get you to enter this plea?
No, ma'am, Your Honor.
Has anyone promised you anything other than the plea bargain agreement to get you to enter this plea?
No, ma'am, Your Honor.
Are you satisfied with the way you've been represented?
Yes, ma'am, Your Honor.
Are you a U.S. citizen?
Yes, ma'am, Your
The
Honor.
court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived his right to jury trial. Next, I'm showing you the plea bargain page. Did you review that page with your attorney, and did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am, Your Honor.
According to the plea bargain agreement, the state is proceeding on the lesser included offense of assault, bodily injury, family, household, Class A misdemeanor. There's a $0 fine. State recommends deferred adjudication. There's an affirmative finding of family violence. There's to be no harmful or injurious contact with Rochelle Martinez, RACHELLE. Did you understand with an affirmative finding of family violence, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition?
Yes, ma'am, Your Honor.
Did you understand with an affirmative finding of family violence, you're not allowed to be designated as primary custodian?
Yes, ma'am, Your Honor.
Okay.
Primary custodian?
I'm sorry, you're not allowed to be designated as primary custodial parent of any children. Did you understand that?
Oh, yes. Okay. Yes, ma'am. You're
Yes, no problem.
right.
Did you understand that to be the entirety of the plea bargain agreement?
Yes, ma'am. Your Honor.
Defense, is that the plea bargain agreement?
Yes, Your Honor.
State, is that the plea bargain agreement?
Yes, Judge.
Next, I'm showing you the paragraph entitled Waiver of Appeal. Did you review that paragraph with your attorney? Did you understand it? And did you electronically sign it in both places?
Yes, ma'am. Your Honor.
Did you understand by signing that you're waiving your right to appeal? The only items that can be appealed are written pretrial motions that have been filed, heard, and ruled upon by the court. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, are there been any such motions?
No, Your Honor.
Next, I'm showing you outside the plea bargain agreement, the state is requesting that your deferred adjudication be for a term of a year. There'll be 100 hours community service restitution in the BIPP course. Did you understand those were recommendations from the state and the court does not have to follow those recommendations?
Yes, ma'am. Your Honor.
Then to the offense of assault, bodily injury, injury, family, or household, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
No contest, Your Honor.
State, any evidence to support the plea?
At this time, we offer State's Exhibit 1 and all attachments.
Any objections?
No, Your Honor. We reviewed what was attached to the plea bargain.
Mr. Lopez, I'm going to show you a document entitled Waiver and Consent to Stipulation of Testimony and Stipulations. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it? And did you electronically sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes, ma'am. Your Honor.
Again, did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call and the right to remain silent?
Yes, ma'am. Your Honor.
Did you understand that today the state will be presenting evidence in the form of witnesses' statements, police reports, but most importantly, there will be no live testimony? Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am. Your Honor.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived and consented to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. Court will accept into evidence State's Exhibits 1 and attachments and review the same. All right, after reviewing State's Exhibits 1 and attachments, court will find there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty. However, the court will defer finding of guilt as you've applied for deferred adjudication. Are you proceeding with sentencing?
Yes, Your Honor.
Is there anything you wish to say on behalf of your client?
Judge, we're just asking the court to follow the plea bargain. I believe right now he is an AC tech. His hours have been cut some and he's struggling financially. So we'd ask the court to consider that in the supervisory fee.
All right, State, have you had any contact with Rochelle Martinez?
No, ma'am.
I'm sorry, I'm not speaking to you, Mr. Lopez.
Oh, sorry, sir.
Yes, we have.
I'm not a sir.
Yes, we have.
All right, Mr. Lopez,
Yes, ma'am. Your Honor.
I'm not a sir, I'm a female.
Oh, I'm sorry, ma'am. I know. I know.
Yes. All right, proceed, State.
We have had contact, Judge.
And does she want to have contact with him?
Yes, she does, Judge.
All right, Mr. Lopez, I'm reading the police report, and according to the police report, this whole argument started over the fact that she didn't want to be in a dating relationship with you. So, is that changed?
No, I mean, she just really likes me a part of her life because of her kids. Her kids really always looked up to me and still call me for advice and I mean, I know she does, we care for each other. We've been together 10 years, but like my attorney says, it's where it's gone and how all this has transpired is not really beneficial going forward.
Okay, here's the thing, Mr. Lopez. From what I've read in the police report,
yes,
she
ma'am.
doesn't want to be in a dating relationship with you anymore. So then the main question becomes, because I want you to be successful on this deferred adjudication, I take no joy in having to send people to prison or to the Bexar County Jail because they haven't followed through.
Yes,
So
ma'am.
you need to look within inside yourself and say, one, am I going to be able to just be in her children's life and provide financially or whatever you've been doing with her children? And how am I going to take it when I'm doing that and she starts dating someone else? So the question, because more likely than not, she'll probably start dating someone else. So the question becomes, are you going to be able to just be friends with her as you watch her date other people? If not, then maybe you need a no contact order.
Well, I'll be honest, Your Honor.
Judge, and if I may interrupt just briefly, the state did provide me a notice of Brady disclosure, which when they spoke to her, she had changed her story of what happened in the police report. That's why we're doing a Class A, saying that he didn't choke her. And I believe there's been a no contact order and they have not had contact, and he's successfully been staying with that. But he does assist her financially. And so whenever she needs it, and her kids. So that's why they had put a no harmful or injurious order, Judge.
So again, Mr. Lopez, I'm back to you.
Yes, ma'am.
She is going to start, more likely than not, dating other people. Are you going to be able and be okay with continuing to provide her financial support for the children, and seeing her date other people? That's the question. And if your answer is no.
No, absolutely, yes. I mean, I already have a plan for my life, Your Honor. Like I told my attorney, I plan to start my own air conditioning company because I've been in the industry almost 13 years now. So,
all right, Mr. Lopez, here's the thing.
Yes, ma'am.
This is not about plans for life. This is about feelings.
Yes, ma'am. I'm okay. I absolutely am okay with her doing whatever she needs to do.
So if you go to her home to spend time with her children, or whatever you do with her children, pick them up for soccer games. I don't know their ages. And when you go to her home, there is someone else that she's dating there. Is there going to be a problem?
No, ma'am.
All right, I'm making a notation on my docketing sheet. So you want to have contact with her?
Yes, ma'am. I mean, just for those purposes, that's fine.
No, I mean, it's completely up to you. You know you better than I do.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, so the court's going to give you 1 year deferred adjudication, affirmative finding of family violence, no harmful or injurious contact with Rochelle Martinez, the BIPP course, proof of employment within 15 days, 100 hours of community service restitution, or you can pay $7.25 per hour to San Antonio Food Bank. How old are her children?
Her oldest is 28, and Chris, her youngest is just turned 18, and then Chris is 21, and then Gabriella is 22.
All right, regular Zoom reporting. If you're given your analysis test today, what are the results going to be? Mr. Lopez, if you're tested for drugs today, what are the results going to be?
Oh, negative. I didn't
All right,
understand.
there'll be random UAs. And you're to provide a UA today by 2 p.m.
Okay.
Is there anything else from either side with regards to sentencing?
Nothing from the state judge.
No, not from the defense judge. Will they instruct him right now where to go take that UA?
Yes. Mr. Lopez, I'm going to show you a document entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it? And did you electronically sign it?
Yes, ma'am, Your Honor.
Because this is a plea bargain case, because I followed your plea bargain, and because you waived your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am, Your Honor.
And because this is a affirmative finding of family violence, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am, Your Honor.
All right, with that, we'll close the record. Rebecca, did you get all of that?
Yes, ma'am. I got 1 year deferred affirmative finding family violence, no harmful interest contact with Rochelle Martinez, 100 community service, BIP, proof of employment 15 days, regular Zoom, random UA, and UA tomorrow.
UA today.
I mean, today by 2.
Yes.
Sorry.
All right. So Rebecca, if you'll go back to breakout room number 5, Mr. Lopez, I'm going to send you to breakout room number 5. Probation will go over conditions with you. Once you've completed that, you're excused. You do not have to come back to the main room.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome. Have a good day.
You too. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. All right, Jorge Aristotelides, who's your client?
Edgar Sanchez, Your Honor.
Say Edgar Sanchez.
Yes, Judge.
Judge, when the court gets a chance, can I be put into a breakout room with my client? She's on the screen now.
To the clerks in the back, I do not have the file on Edgar Sanchez.
Judge, her volume is very low, but Christine McDonald, I believe that her client is here under Alan the Beast. That's the name escaped me.
All right, Alan the Beast, where are you?
Roland, I think Roland is her name.
Emily Roland, Your Honor.
All right, why do you keep coming on here with different names? No one can hear you. Unmute yourself, please. Oh, she'll be back.
No, I'm here.
Why do you keep coming on this Zoom screen with different names?
It's not a different name. It's the same one that I used yesterday. It's just the Google account that I'm using.
There's easy, see, all the young people, you can do everything by tech. You can do Instagram, you can do TikTok, you can do all of this other stuff, but for some reason you can't change your screen name. From now on, anyone who comes on here with an inappropriate screen name, you're going to have to appear in court. So you can either figure out how to get your screen name correct, or you can appear in court. So I'm going to send you to breakout room with your attorney, Ms. McDonald, if you go back to breakout room number 4.
Thank you, Judge.
And to the clerks in the back, I need the file on Mr. Sanchez.
Yes, Judge. Edgar Sanchez.
Judge, Eric Lopez got kicked out, so when he gets back in right now, can you send him back to the breakout room with probation? For some reason, he got kicked out.
Yes, will do.
Thank you, Judge.
And Mr. Aristotelides, as soon as I have the file on Edgar Sanchez, we'll take your case up.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, Bill Davidson, what is your client's name?
Your Honor, it's Melvin Owens.
All right, I'll grant that motion, Mr. Davidson.
Thank you very much, Your Honor. May I ask the clerk for a copy just so I can give it to the investigator?
Yes, most definitely.
Thank you. I was very pleased to hear the governor say he's going to open up the whole state. I hope that includes the courts.
All right, anyone else back from the breakout room?
Yes, Your Honor. Tom and I have conferred on Caesar George.
Yes. Thank you. And Mr. Lopez, if you go to breakout room number 5, please. All right, and what is happening with Mr. George?
Well, Your Honor, this is a first setting and there is a deceased body on this case, as Tom was going to point out. We do have an offer, but we need to walk our client through it. I think both sides are doing a pretty good job at this point. He's communicated exhaustively with the family, so that is limiting in what we can do. We've got a very stiff offer that we need some time to work on it, Your Honor. It is a first setting.
No, because we've been here on November 20th, and that was a motion to increase bond. And then we came back on November 23rd for a hearing on the motion to increase bond. And then we had a setting on February 25th, and it was recalled for today. So where are we on discovery issues?
Discovery, Tom had forwarded us some videos earlier this week. We have reviewed them. We are going through it, determining whether we need to petition the court for an expert. It is a crash accident case. And like I said, Tom has made us an offer, but it is a very high offer, and we need to talk to our client about it.
All right, Norma, can you give them a 30-day reset on Caesar George?
Come back on April 7th.
Okay.
May we be excused?
Yes.
Thank you.
All right, everyone, just give me one moment to sign some documents. All right, who's the attorney for Mr. Alcaraz? Isaiah Alcaraz?
Travis Kettner.
He's in the courtroom, Your Honor.
All right, to the courtroom. I'm going to send you to breakout room number 3. Could the clerk go to 3 and swear in Mr. Alcaraz? All right, we're going to proceed on Mr. Sanchez. Is the attorney here for Sanchez, Edgar Sanchez?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, who's the prosecutor for Mr. Edgar Sanchez?
I have been handling it, Judge.
Ms. Matzold?
And was there a PSI report prepared on this case?
No, Your Honor.
It was
Okay,
just
thank you.
reset.
All right, the court is calling 2019 CR 9386, State of Texas versus Edgar Sanchez. Could I have the parties announced for the record, please, for the state,
Nora Metzold.
for the defense?
Jorge Aristoteles, Your Honor.
And are you Mr. Sanchez?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, we're proceeding by video because of the pandemic. Any objections from the state?
No, ma'am.
Any objections from the defense?
No objections, Judge.
Mr. Sanchez, you previously entered a plea on January 6, 2021, and the court will note for the record that that plea was entered by video, and the defendant did sign a document which was the consent to appear by video. Mr. Sanchez, do you have any objections to the court conducting this sentencing by video?
No, Your Honor.
And on January 6th, he entered a plea of no contest to count 1. State waived count 2 without objection. The court found there was sufficient evidence to find you guilty. According to the plea bargain agreement, the state is recommending deferred adjudication. State, is there a reason for your recommendation?
A combination of factors, Judge, and a lot of it has to do with the wishes of the family.
All right, defense, is there anything you wish to say on behalf of your client?
Briefly, Judge, my client is a legal permanent resident. He's lived in this country legally for most of his life. He belongs to a very tight-knit family. He has suffered for a good number of years of anxiety disorder, which kept him pretty much cooped up at home for many years. It's only been for about a year and a half now that he's been able to get out and cope with the world. He's been working with his dad in construction now, almost religiously every day. And he seems to be making good progress there. We have discussed this case many times, and he understands the seriousness of his actions. He apologizes to the court and to the complainant, and he asked the court follow the recommendation.
All right, Mr. Sanchez, how many hours do you work?
About 50 or more.
Based upon your charges, they do not allow community service to be done. So would you be able to make a donation to the food bank?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. So I'm going to ask for 100 hours of community service restitution, but in lieu of that, I will ask for a $7.25 per hour donation to the San Antonio Food Bank. 10 years deferred adjudication. The state is requesting a $1,500 fine. I'll probate that. So instead of paying the $1,500 fine, you'll be paying money to the San Antonio Food Bank in lieu of the 100 hours of community service restitution. There's to be no contact with Victoria Herrera. Chapter 62 registration, proof of employment within 15 days. There'll be regular Zoom reporting to probation and random UAs. If you're tested today, what are the results going to be, Mr. Sanchez?
Negative, Your Honor.
Is there anything else from either side with regards to sentencing?
Nothing to say, Judge.
Judge, I would ask Your Honor to reconsider perhaps giving him a lower term of years on the deferred adjudication. We were prepared to ask for 5 years or no more than 5. He's got immigration consequences, Judge. We're gonna have to tussle with that. It's already something that we're starting to work on. Given that he has no criminal history, Judge, it's the only other thing we would ask, but we do appreciate your kind consideration and your granting deferred adjudication.
To the clerk in the back, could I please have the entire file on Edgar Sanchez? State, do you have any input as it relates to the number of years for the deferred adjudication?
I think the nature of the offense, Judge, the victim's condition, she was, my understanding is that she's partially, she has medical issues and has to wear, has a leg issue and has to wear diapers. The fact that this was part of the agreement, I don't understand how a lower sentence as far as years of deferred adjudication is going to help with his immigration consequences. So I think the 10 years is appropriate, Judge.
Okay. All right, let me grab the court's file because I do not have the court's file for Edgar Sanchez. Just give me a moment. All right, State, with regards to the issues you stated with the leg and with diapers, is that related to this offense or is that related to something else?
It's related to this offense, Judge, the complainant in the case.
So his actions caused that?
No, sorry, no, Judge, but
that's what I'm trying to figure out.
My misunderstanding. The complainant in this case had medical issues that had nothing to do with the specific defendant, but just kind of the fact that he singled out one of his, if I remember correctly, his cousins that has medical issues that, you know, my understanding is she walks with a cane or crutches to something to that extent, just kind of like the predatory nature of picking on someone who's a little bit weaker, Judge, and the age of the complainant.
All right, Mr. Aristotelides. Yes.
It's part of her condition. I believe she was born with spina bifida, Judge, and so it's a permanent condition, but it has nothing to do with her intellectual disability. She doesn't have intellectual disability. She doesn't have that type of manifestation. And so she goes to school, smart young lady, but it is correct. I mean, she does have that condition, which is permanent.
Okay. All right. I'll keep the deferred adjudication as 10 years deferred adjudication. Mr. Sanchez, I'm showing you a document entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it? And did you electronically sign it?
Yes, Your Honor.
Because this is a plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement, and because you waived your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Do you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
We're off the record. Ms. Reyes, did you receive all of that?
No, ma'am, because I came in late.
All right. So it's Edgar Sanchez, 2019 CR 9386. For count one, it's 10 years deferred adjudication, $1,500 fine. That will be probated. No contact with Victoria Herrera. Chapter 62 registration. Proof of employment within 15 days. 100 hours of community supervision. And I know he's not eligible for community supervision. So in lieu of the 100 hours of community supervision, he will pay $7.25 per hour to the San Antonio Food Bank, regular Zoom reporting, and random UAs.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, I'll send you, Mr. Sanchez, I'm going to send you to breakout room with probation. She will go over conditions with you. I will send you to breakout room number 5. And after that, you are excused.
Okay.
Your Honor, include me in that meeting,
Yes.
Your Honor. Thank you.
You are listed. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, Matthew Allen.
Yes, Judge, I'm here on Devin Pettis. We were set for a plea today. I talked to Marcus this morning. The files still haven't been created. I think they were with the clerk. And so he was saying they would need another day or two to get those cases ready to plea.
All right, and State, are we sure we're going to be ready in another day or two?
Yes, Judge, I'm emailing in contact with the clerks right now. So yes.
All right, Norma, can we recall this for Friday?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, we're going to come back on Friday. Mr. Pettis, we'll be back on Friday for your case, okay?
Okay, thank you, ma'am. You have a good day.
All right, thank you. You have a good day too. Norma, if you can let them know that he can go back.
Yes, ma'am.
Can everyone just give me one moment, please? All right, anyone else back from the breakout room?
Your Honor, this is Lorraine Ephraim. Let me get my video on.
Yes.
We don't have our case worked out just yet. I'm not sure what our setting is today.
Okay, is your client present?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. February, we were here for discovery. So have you received all of the discovery?
I think so, Your Honor.
All right, State, on Miss Edna Vilava. I'm going to need a discovery acknowledgement completed. And that will be due March 12th. And I'm going to give you a plea deadline date. Norma, can you set this for the end of March, please?
Yes, ma'am. March or April 1st, Judge.
All right, April 1st will be your plea deadline date. What that means is that the court will not consider any plea bargain agreements past that date.
Okay. On, let me. Thursday, April 1st?
Yes.
Okay.
And we will see you and your client on April 1st.
Okay, thank you, Judge.
All right, thank you. You and your client are excused.
Thank you very much.
Oscar Hernandez, you're here on Fabian Herrera.
Yes, Judge. We've conferred and we have an agreement to allow my client to apply for the PTD. I've already sent a chat to Norma.
All right, Norma, when do they need to come back on Fabian Herrera?
I'm sorry, I was on mute. April 7th, Judge.
All right, you'll come back for April 7th for an update, and your client will need to be present by Zoom.
Thank you. Have a great day.
All right. Thank you. You too. You and your client are excused.
Thanks.
Thank you, Judge.
You're welcome. James Toshi, you're here for Mr. Blanco.
Judge, yes, and well, yeah, I am. Yes, I am.
All right, Mr. Blanco, could you unmute, please?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, you need to be in the courtroom.
Okay.
It's
okay.
300 De La Rosa, 187 District Court, 4th floor.
What was it again? One district court.
300 De La Rosa,
Uh,
187th District Court, 4th floor. And you need to be here by 1:30. Do you understand?
yes, ma'am.
Judge, can you check your chat?
Yes, I see this. So my understanding, you want to hire another attorney?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, you need to have that attorney here in the courtroom at 1:30. So we'll see you at 1:30.
I can't. I can't have that attorney there by then.
Well, here's the problem. This case has been going on forever. You knew it was
understand.
set. So you need to be here at 1:30. And I suggest you be here at 1:30 with whomever your new attorney is, because this has been going on. This has been going on since May. So this will be taken care of today. So we will see you in court at 1:30. Bring your attorney.
With all due respect, I didn't even know that I.
Here's the thing. Let's not start with. Let's do this. Do not start with all due respect or in all honesty, because usually when people say in all honesty, what's coming after that is dishonesty. When people say with all due respect, what's coming after that is disrespect. So here's the thing. You knew you were set today. You're set for a contested motion to revoke. It's set at 1:30. This has been going on since May. We are now in the month of March. So if you want a new attorney and you want to hire an attorney, you need to have that hired attorney with you at 1:30. But regardless, you will be in the 187th District Court, 300 De La Rosa on the 4th floor at 1:30.
Okay.
All right, thank you.
Bye, have a great day.
Should I remain, Judge, or would you like me just to appear at 1:30 as well?
Just remain, please.
Yes, ma'am.
Matthew Finch.
Yes, Judge, I've conferred with Alexandra, Your Honor. The offer has remained the same. We're going to need to get it down on the trial docket.
All right, Cody Weiscarver. You're requesting a jury trial, is that correct?
What I think is they'll come off.
Cody Weiscarver. I cannot hear you. You need to turn on your audio. All right, I'm going to say, Mr. Weiscarver, do you hear me? If you can hear me, give me a thumbs up.
Yeah.
All right, Mr. Weiscarver, your attorney is telling me you want a jury trial. If that is correct, give me a thumbs up. All right, Mr. Weiscarver, your plea deadline date has expired. Give me a thumbs up if you understand that. What that means is the court will not accept any plea bargain agreements unless it's a plea that is open to the court. If you understand, give me a thumbs up. All right, we will give you your jury trial. Defense, have you received all the discovery in this case?
I've received a bunch, Your Honor. I don't know. I don't know what I don't know, but I've received enough to make decisions on the case.
All right. So state on Mr. Wise Carver. I'm going to need an acknowledgement of discovery in each of these cases by March 26th. Are you able to do that?
Yes, I can.
All right. So discovery acknowledgement will be due March 26th.
Mr. Finch, can you chat me your email, please?
Yes.
All right, Mr. Wise Carver, you're excused.
Judge, will we get a date from the court?
Yes, the court coordinator will send you a date.
Thank you, Your Honor. May we be excused?
Yes,
Thank you.
thank you. And probation officer Tellez, is that the probation officer for Mr. Blanco?
No, Your Honor, I'm shadowing CLO Reyes.
Ah, okay.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome.
That happened during the mix of everything, so I didn't have a chance to tell you.
Oh, no problem.
And when I need to go to the breakout room, if you can send her in also.
Oh, sure.
Thank you.
All right, you're welcome. I'll make you a co-host officer so you can move about the breakout rooms freely.
I appreciate it, Judge. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Judge, this is Joel. My client said he's on the bus on his way, but he told me he accepted the state's offer. If you want me to go back and talk to Marcus to get, however he says, can I come back in a week and turn myself in? And did you want him to fill the paperwork out today or come back in a week and then turn himself in?
Oh, no, I want the paperwork done today.
And you'll give him a week to get his affairs in order? And
yeah, well, just discuss it with the state. Once I review it, I'll be able to let you know something more.
He said he may be there after 10:30 though, so I'm hoping he didn't keep us waiting past 10:30, but he said.
No, if he's after 10:30, that's fine. We're here. We're going to take our break at 12 and we'll go from there. Okay.
Did you want me to come back at 1:30? Because I'm free for the rest of the day.
No, just remain here. We'll see if your client gets here.
Okay, I'll just patiently wait, and then I guess the deputy will inform us if Isaac Alcorta shows up in the courtroom.
Yes.
I hope. Okay.
Yes.
Thank you.
Judge,
All right,
could
you're welcome.
send him to a
Yes.
breakout room. There were 2 offers, so I need to know which one he took.
All right, Joe, I'm going to send you to breakout room number 3.
Thank you.
And Marcus will meet you there.
He's a good young man.
All right, thank you. Tom, can you meet me in breakout room number 1, please?
Yes, Your Honor.
And everyone, I will be right back. All right, everyone. Rodolfo Zepeda, you're back.
Yes, Your Honor.
And who is your client?
Stephanie de la Cerda, Your Honor.
All right, the court is going to call 2020 CR 9866, State of Texas versus Stephanie Brandy de la Cerda. If I can have parties announced for the record for the state.
Marcus Sanderson.
For the defense.
Rodolfo Cepeda, Your Honor.
All right, this case was originally set on March 2nd. The defendant was a no-show. The court recalled it for today to give the defendant a chance to appear. It is now 10:36 a.m. This hearing was scheduled for 9 a.m. Deputy Laura, has there been a Stephanie Brandy de la Cerda in the courtroom?
No, Your Honor, she has not.
And for the record, she has not been on the Zoom screen as well. Defense, have you had any contact with your client?
Not with her, Your Honor. I did speak to her mother yesterday and she had not heard from her. She was trying to get a hold of her, but I have not heard anything.
State?
Judge, we're asking that you forfeit or bond and issue a warrant.
All right, that'll be granted. I'll remand your client without bond. If you're able to get in contact with your client and your client makes an appearance, I'll reconsider.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, you're excused. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, Ms. McDonald, you're back.
Yes, Your Honor, we've completed the paperwork when the court is ready for us.
Okay. Lupe, here you are. Has your client been sworn in?
Not yet, Judge.
All right, I'm going to send you to a breakout room and the clerk will swear you and your client in. All right, to the clerk, if you go to breakout room number 3, please.
Thank you, Judge.
And I'll send you and your client to number 3. And could I have the parties on Isaiah Alcaraz, please? And who is the prosecutor who's handling this case?
It was me, Judge.
All right, Brenda, it's going to be 2 cases.
That's fine, Judge.
Court is calling 2020 CR 12197 and 2021 CR 1920W. Could I have the parties announced for the record, please, for the state?
Laura Netzel for the state.
For the defense?
Travis Kittner for Mr. Alcaraz, Your Honor, we're ready.
We're proceeding by video because of the pandemic. I'll note for the record that the defendant and the defense attorney are in the courtroom, and this is one of the days where the 187 District Court is allowed to have in-person hearings. Is there any objections to us proceeding by video, state?
No, ma'am.
Defense?
No, Your Honor.
Mr. Alcaraz, in each of these cases, I'm showing you documents entitled Defendant's Consent to Appear by Video. Did you review those documents with your attorney? Did you understand them and did you electronically sign them?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, and cause number 2021 CR 1920W, The court does not have the waiver. Let me see if it's in another file. Just one moment, please. All right, we're back on the record. And cause number 2021 CR 1920W. Mr. Alcaraz, I'm going to show you a document entitled Waiver of Indictment, Reading of Information and Rights under Article 1.051 and 26.03 of the Code of Criminal Procedure. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it, and did you electronically sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you understand you have a right to have a grand jury hear the evidence in this case and make a decision on whether or not to indict this case?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you understand that your attorney also has certain rights? Namely, your attorney has 2 days from the presentation of the information to appear and 10 days from the presentation of the information to prepare for trial. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand by entering this plea bargain agreement, you were giving up those rights?
Yes, ma'am.
And did you intend to give up those rights and enter into a plea bargain agreement in this case?
Yes, Your Honor.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived indictment, reading of information and rights under Article 1.051 and 26.03 of the Code of Criminal Procedure. Counsel, in each of these cases, I'm showing you the discovery acknowledgement. Have you reviewed all the discovery in each of these cases, and did you review that discovery with your client?
Yes, Your Honor.
The court will find that the state is in compliance with discovery. Mr. Alcaraz, in each of these cases, I'm showing you what's entitled Application for Deferred Adjudication or Community Supervision. Did you review those documents with your attorney? Did you understand them, and did you electronically sign them?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Alcaraz, in 2021 CR 1920W, I'm showing you a document entitled Information. And in 2020 CR 12197, I'm showing you a document entitled True Bill of Indictment. Did you review those documents with your attorney, and did you understand them?
Yes, Your Honor.
Counsel, do you waive the reading of the information?
Yes, Judge. Thank you.
State, are you proceeding on the information as presented?
Yes, Judge.
Counsel, do you waive the reading of the indictment?
Yes, Your Honor.
State, are you proceeding on the indictment as presented?
Yes, Judge.
Mr. Alcaraz, in each of these cases, I'm showing you what's entitled Court Admonishments and Defendant's Waivers and Affidavit of Admonitions. Did you review those documents with your attorney? Did you understand them? And did you electronically sign them in all the appropriate places?
Yes, Your Honor.
And cause 2021 CR 1920W, charged with the offense of deadly conduct firearm. That's a third-degree felony. The range of punishment is anywhere from 2 to 10 years in prison with a possible fine up to $10,000. In 2020 CR 12197, you're charged with the offense of aggravated assault with a deadly weapon. That's a second-degree felony. The range of punishment is 2 to 20 years in prison and up to a $10,000 fine. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
In each of these cases, if you have a plea bargain agreement with the state, the court does not have to follow your plea bargain agreement. If for any reason the court does not follow your plea bargain agreement and gives you more than you bargained for, the fact that you entered a plea will not be used against you, and you will be allowed to withdraw your plea. Did you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
In each of these cases, you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call, and the right to remain silent. Did you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you understand by entering into this plea bargain agreement, you were giving up those rights?
Yes, Your Honor.
And did you intend to give up those rights and enter into plea bargain agreements in each of these cases?
Yes, Your Honor.
And cause number 2021 CR 1920W, did you understand if the court were to grant your application for deferred adjudication, if for any reason your deferred adjudication were revoked, the court could find you guilty, not grant you community supervision, and sentence you up to 10 years in prison and up to a $10,000 fine. Did you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
And in cause number 2020 CR 12197, did you understand that the court would grant your application for deferred adjudication? If for any reason your deferred adjudication were revoked, the court could find you guilty and sentence you up to 20 years in prison and up to $10,000 fine. Did you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
Counsel, in each of these cases, has your client been able to provide you with any defenses?
Yes, he has been able to assist in his defense, Your Honor.
In each of the cases, do you believe your client has a rational as well as a factual understanding of the charges against him?
He does, Your Honor.
In each of the cases, do you believe he's currently competent and was sane at the time of the offense?
I do. He's been, his competency has been determined by the court prior to this.
Mr. Alcaraz, in each of these cases, has anyone threatened you, coerced you, or placed you in fear to get you to enter the plea?
No, ma'am.
In each of the cases, has anyone promised you anything other than the plea bargain agreement?
No, ma'am.
In each of the cases, are you satisfied with the way you've been represented?
Yes, ma'am.
In each of the cases, are you a U.S. citizen?
Yes, ma'am, I am.
Then in each of the cases, the court will find that the defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived his right to jury trial. In each of the cases, I'm showing you what's entitled plea bargain agreement. Did you review that page with your attorney? Did you understand it? And yes?
Yes, Your Honor.
And cause number 2021 CR 1920W, according to the plea bargain agreement, punishment is to be assessed at 10 years in the prison. There's a $1,500 fine. State opposes your application for community supervision or deferred adjudication. This will run concurrent with 2020 CR 12197. The state will take in consideration County Court Cause number 635935, 645-535, NIMAG number 598707. And there's a county court cause number that's listed here that has not been printed out.
I believe there's gonna be several cases, Judge, that the template cut off. If you'd like me to list them off individually.
Yes.
So the last county court number, I believe, is 653-652. It's a VPO case. And there's also several grand jury numbers that are going to be TIC'd also. They're gonna be 724-283, 724-278, 724-279, 724-280, 724-280, 724-281, and then 724-282. And just in case I missed one, Judge, just for the record, everything that is open at this point with our office will be closed out as part of this plea, except for the cases he's pleading on.
All right, the other cases that will be taken in consideration are County Court Cause number 653-652, grand jury numbers 724-283, 724-278, 724-279, 724-281, 724-282. There's to be no contact with Margie Ramos, Adrian Medina, Chelsea Medina, Aubriana Medina, Raleigh Medina, Michael Portales, Maria Escalera, Juan Rios, and no firearm possession. And cause number 2020 CR 12197, according to the plea bargain agreement, punishment is to be assessed at 10 years in the prison. There's a $1,500 fine, affirmative finding of deadly weapon. State opposes your application for deferred adjudication. This will run concurrent with 2021 CR 1920W. State will take in consideration County Court Cause numbers 653-625, 635-935, 645-535, NIMAG number 598707, 598707, grand jury numbers 724-283, 724-281, 724-278, 724-282, 724-279. There's an affirmative finding of family violence, no contact with Marjorie Ramos, Adrian Medina, Chelsea Medina, Aubriana Medina, Raleigh Medina, Michael Portales, Maria Escalera, and Juan Rios. Did you understand with an affirmative finding of family violence, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you understand with the finding of affirmative violence, you're not allowed to be designated as primary custodial parent? Did you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you understand that to be the entirety of the plea bargain agreement in each of these cases?
Yes, Your Honor.
Defense, is that the plea bargain agreement in each of these cases?
It is, Your Honor. Thank you.
State, is that the plea bargain agreement in each of the cases?
Yes, ma'am.
In each of the cases, I'm showing you the paragraph entitled Waiver of Appeal. Did you review that paragraph with your attorney? Did you understand it? And did you electronically sign it in both places?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you understand by signing that you're waiving your right to appeal? The only items that can be appealed are written pretrial motions that have been filed, heard, and ruled upon by the court. Did you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
Counsel, have there been any such motions?
No, Your Honor.
Then Mr. Alcaraz, in cause number 2021 CR 1920W, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
No contest.
And in cause number 2020 CR 12197, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
No contest.
State, do you have any evidence to support the defendant's no contest plea in each of these cases?
At this time, state offers State's Exhibit 1 and attachments for both respective cases, Judge.
Any objections?
No, Your Honor. Thank you.
Mr. Alcaraz, in each of these cases, I'm going to show you documents entitled Waiver, Consent to Stipulation of Testimony and Stipulations. You review those documents with your attorney. Did you understand it, and did you electronically sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes, Your Honor, I did.
In each of the cases, did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call in the right to remain silent?
Yes, Your Honor.
In each of the cases, did you understand that the state will be presenting evidence in the form of witnesses' statements and police reports, but most importantly, there will be no live testimony? Did you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
Then in each of the cases, the court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived and consented to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. The court will accept into evidence State's Exhibits 1 and attachments in each of the cases, and the court will review the same.
Yes, Your Honor. Yes.
All right, after reviewing State's Exhibits 1 and attachments in cause number 2021 CR 1920W, the court will find there's sufficient evidence to find you guilty. However, the court will defer finding of guilt as you've applied for deferred adjudication. In that cause number, I'm going to order a TAP evaluation plus a MIC. Is a MIC mouth evaluation needed?
Yes,
Defense?
we're going to request that. Thank you, Judge.
All right, and a MIC mouth evaluation. and cause number 2021 CR 1920W. I'm sorry, and cause number 2020 CR 12197. The court will find there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty. However, the court will defer finding of guilt as you've applied for deferred adjudication. The court will request a TAP evaluation, NIC MIOF evaluation, and probation. In each of these cases, I would like him interviewed to see if there's any gang affiliation also.
Okay.
Norma, when do we need to come back for sentencing on Mr. Alcaraz?
Give me 1 second, Judge. Let me look at the calendar real quick. April 14th.
All right, Mr. Alcaraz will come back on April 14th. At that time, the court will make a decision on your application for deferred adjudication in each of these cases. That decision will be based upon the PSI report I received from probation in each of these cases and any other evidence that's presented. Do you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, it's very important that you make all of your interviews with probation. Also, you'll need to be in the courtroom, and that will be scheduled at 9 o'clock. Do you understand?
Yes, Your Honor, I do.
Do you have any questions about anything?
No, ma'am.
All right, we're close the case.
Judge, I apologize. Very briefly, can I add just a couple of things?
Yes.
My client had wanted me to ask, he is currently unemployed. He's on full house arrest. If the conditions of his bond needed to allow a partial GPS, I already spoke to the prosecutors. I know she is opposed to this request. He does have a pretty good lead on a fast food job with Bill Miller's, including an interview today.
All right, well, if you will file a motion, then the court will consider that.
Okay, and the other.
But just file a motion, set it, let the court coordinator know, and she will set it, and we will do a quick turnaround for that.
Okay, thank you, Judge. And my other quick question is, and I didn't know exactly how this works, if he's not accepted, if he does get probation and he's not accepted to make MIOF, but I know they have a mental health unit within probation. Do we bring that up now? Or?
No, what they will do, they will interview him.
Okay.
And MIC is the mentally impaired caseload. So if he's not accepted on the mentally impaired caseload, then he will not be accepted. Okay.
I understand. Okay, and he needs to wait here now to talk to probation on the video?
No, I'm going to send him to a breakout room. We're going to close the record. I'm going to send him to a breakout room. Once he's gone over everything with probation, probation will let him know where he needs to go. And if you want to be with him when probation speaks with him, you can. And then after that, he's excused. He just needs to remember to be back here on April 14th. And could someone give him the reset form, please?
We got it, Judge.
All right, thank you. I appreciate it.
Okay.
All right, I'm going to send courtroom. I'm going to send you to breakout room on number 5.
Yes, Judge.
And probation, if you could go to number 5, please.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
All right, Brenda Livingston, you are back.
Yes, I'm sorry that it took me so long. And this is Emily Casillas, and I got all the numbers I already had, plus 3 more from personal bond, the personal bond office. And
all right, we're going to call the case for the record. Just give me a moment.
Okay, sorry.
Oh, no problem. Court is calling 2021 CR 0251A, State of Texas versus Emily Christine Casillas. We've got parties announced for the record for the state.
Marcus Sanderson.
For the defense.
Brenda Levenstein.
All right, this case was set yesterday. The defendant was a no-show. The court had it recalled for today. It is now 9 a.m. I'm sorry, the case was scheduled for 9 a.m. It is now actually 10:59 a.m. To the Deputy Laura, Deputy Mejia, is there an Emily Christine Casillas in the courtroom?
No, Judge, she is not.
And has she been in the courtroom at all today?
No, Judge.
And for the record, she is not on the Zoom screen, nor has she been on the Zoom screen. Defense, have you had any contact with your client?
Not in some time, Your Honor, and I called the 3 numbers that pretrial gave me in addition to the other numbers I already had, and I still haven't been able to locate her.
All right, State.
Judge, we're asking that her bond be forfeited and a warrant issued.
All right, that'll be granted. I'll remand her without bond. If you're able to get in touch with your client and have her presented to the court, I'll reconsider.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. You're excused.
Awesome.
All right, are we ready on Emily Roland? They're still in the breakout room.
I already showed him, the attorney said it should be right, should be in a minute in the main room. Judy knows.
Nope.
Where is Robert Guyota? I think he was here. All right, who's the attorney on Emily Roland?
Christine McDonald, Your Honor.
Who's the state's prosecutor?
Judge.
Okay. All right, the court is calling 2021 CR 0254, State of Texas versus Emily Elizabeth Roland. Could I have parties announced for the record for the state?
Jordan Brown for the state.
For the defense?
Sorry, Your Honor. Christine McDonald for the defendant.
And are you Emily Roland?
Yes, ma'am.
We're proceeding by video because of the pandemic. Any objections from the state?
No objection.
Any objections from the defense?
No, Your Honor.
Ms. Roland, I'm showing you a document entitled Defendant's Consent to Appear by Video. Did you review that document with your attorney and did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am.
You're gonna need to speak up.
Yes, ma'am.
Court will find the defendant has knowingly and voluntarily consented to appear by video. Next, I'm showing you what's entitled Application for Community Supervision. Did you review that document with your attorney and did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am.
And did you sign it?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, I'm showing you the discovery acknowledgement. Have you received all the discovery in this case and did you review that with your client?
Yes, Your Honor.
Court will find that the state is in compliance with discovery. Ms. Roland, I'm showing you a document entitled True Bill of Indictment. Did you review that document with your attorney and did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, do you waive the reading of the indictment?
Yes, Your Honor.
State, are you proceeding on the indictment as presented?
Yes, Judge.
Ms. Roland, I'm showing you a document entitled Court Admonishments. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it? And did you electronically sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand what you're charged with? It's theft under $2,500 enhanced as a state jail felony. The range of punishment is anywhere from 180 days up to 2 years in the state jail facility and up to a $10,000 fine. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
If you have a plea bargain agreement with the state, the court does not have to follow your plea bargain agreement. If for any reason the court does not follow your plea bargain agreement and gives you more than you bargained for, the fact that you entered a plea will not be used against you and you will be allowed to withdraw your plea. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
You have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call, and the right to remain silent. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand by entering this plea bargain agreement, you were giving up those rights?
Yes, ma'am.
And did you intend to give up those rights and enter into a plea bargain agreement in this case?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand if the court were to grant your application for deferred adjudication, if for any reason your deferred adjudication were revoked, the court could find you guilty, not grant you community supervision, and sentence you up to 2 years in the state jail facility and up to a $10,000 fine? Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, has your client been able to provide you with any defenses to this offense?
She has.
Do you believe she has a rational as well as a factual understanding of the charges against her?
Yes, she does.
Do you believe she's currently competent and was legally sane at the time of the offense?
Yes, Judge.
Ms. Roland, has anyone threatened you, coerced you, or placed you in fear to get you to enter this plea?
No, ma'am.
Has anyone promised you anything other than the plea bargain agreement to get you to enter this plea?
No, ma'am.
Are you satisfied with the way you've been represented?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you a U.S. citizen?
Yes, ma'am.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived her right to jury trial. Next, I'm showing you the plea bargain page. Did you review that page with your attorney and did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am.
According to the plea bargain agreement, your punishment is to be assessed at 2 years in the state jail facility. There's a $1,500 fine. State recommends community supervision. It says here there's no application for deferred adjudication. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
This will run concurrent with cause number A 1908886SB in Tom Green County. State will take in consideration County Court cause number 644392. And there's to be the CATS course. Did you understand that to be the plea bargain agreement?
Yes, ma'am.
Defense is at the plea bargain agreement.
Yes, Your Honor.
State is at the plea bargain agreement.
Yes, Judge.
Next, I'm going to show you the paragraph entitled Waiver of Appeal. Did you review that paragraph with your attorney? Did you understand it? And did you electronically sign it in both places?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand by signing that you're waiving your right to appeal? The only items that can be appealed are written pre-trial motions that have been filed, heard, and ruled upon by the court. Did you understand?
Yes.
Counsel, have there been any such motions?
No.
Next, I'm showing you outside the plea bargain agreement. The state is requesting that your community supervision be for a term of 3 years. There'll be a TAP evaluation of 100 hours of community service restitution. Did you understand those are recommendations from the state and the court does not have to follow those recommendations?
Yes, ma'am.
Then to the offense is charged in the indictment. How do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
No contest.
State any evidence to support the defendant's plea.
Yes, Judge. State offers State's Exhibit 1 attachments.
Any objections?
No objection, Your Honor.
Ms. Roland, I'm going to show you what's entitled Waiver and Consent to Stipulation of Testimony and Stipulations. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it? And did you electronically sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes, ma'am.
Again, did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call them the right to remain silent?
Yes.
Did you understand that today the state will be presenting evidence in the form of witnesses' statements and police reports, but most importantly, there will be no live testimony? Did you understand?
Yes.
Court will find the defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived and consented to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. The court will accept into evidence State's Exhibits 1 and attachments, and the court will review the same. Right, we're going to go off the record for a moment. If I could see attorneys in a breakout room, please. If I could see you all in breakout room number 1.
Norma, was that all attorneys in breakout room number 1?
No, just the one on
No,
the
sir.
screen.
Do we know if my client's in the courtroom yet?
No, sir, he's not here.
Thank you. He said he was on the bus and he said he'd be there before noon, but I don't know if the judge is going to have any hearings afternoon.
All right, we're back on the record. After reviewing state's exhibits 1 and attachments, the court will find there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty, and the court will find you guilty. Are you proceeding with sentencing?
Yes, Your Honor.
Is there anything you wish to say on behalf of your client?
Your Honor, we are just respectfully requesting that the court follow the plea agreement, Your Honor. My client is also requesting if this court would allow this case to be transferred to Tom Green County.
All right, Ms. Roland, is there anything you wish to say?
No, ma'am.
All right, Ms. Roland, why can't you stop stealing things?
I was doing it to support my habit.
Okay, so are you doing any type of classes or anything in Tom Green? Are you on any type of program with them?
Yes, ma'am.
And what program is that?
They had me in, well, actually I go to 2 meetings a week. I also do community service, I do my payments, and then I do an outpatient counseling.
So if you're tested today, what are the results going to be?
Negative.
Okay. All right, this is what I appreciate your honesty. And part of being in a condition of sobriety is admitting what you've done wrong. So I appreciate the fact that you were honest with me and you said, I was supporting my habit. Usually people come up with all the different excuses. So I appreciate that. Do you have any children?
Yes, ma'am.
And what are their ages?
18, 16, 13, and 8.
All right. Do they live with you or they live with someone else?
They live with my in-laws. My in-laws have custody of them.
All right. Is Child Protective Services involved?
No, ma'am.
So do your in-laws have custody of your children?
Yes.
Have you ever completed parenting classes?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you get to see your children or no?
Yes.
All right, when did you complete parenting classes?
That would have been 2012.
Okay. Well, I'm going to order you to do parenting classes again because this incident occurred in 2020. I know you are in your sobriety now, but I think just you may need a little bit of a tune-up with parenting, okay?
Okay.
Do you have employment?
Yes.
All right, this is what the court is going to do. The court is going to sentence you to a $1,500 fine. That'll be probated. 2 years in the state jail facility, suspended and probated for 3 years. Transferred to Tom Green County. This is to run concurrent with A 190886 SB. Take in consideration County Court Cause number 644392. The CATS course. State, I was reading in the police report that there is a drug case.
Yes, Judge, that's TSC, the misdemeanor drug case.
Okay, thank you. 100 hours of community service restitution. NA or AA meetings 2 times per week. Outpatient treatment. And probation, if she's doing outpatient treatment on her other case, that's acceptable. But I want her to be in some form of treatment.
Yes, ma'am.
There's to be regular Zoom reporting. Random UAs. And for the people in Tom Green County, I'm going to want field visits. So, Ms. Roland, someone will be checking up on you, coming to wherever you're living to make sure that everything's okay.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, Ms. Roland, is there anything else that you need to be successful?
No, ma'am.
Probation, is there anything else you think she needs?
Were you going to go ahead and do the parenting class?
Yes. All right, and I don't know if CPS is involved, but I'll say CPS compliance if applicable. If there is no CPS involved, then of course you don't have to be compliant with CPS because it doesn't exist in your life. Is there anything else from either side with regards to sentencing?
Nothing from the state.
Nothing from defense.
Ms. Roland, I'm going to show you a document entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it and did you electronically sign it?
Yes, ma'am.
Because this is a plea bargaining agreement, because I followed your plea bargaining agreement, and because you waived your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, good luck to you, Ms. Roland. I'm going to send you to a breakout room. Probation will meet you there, and probation will go over conditions with you.
Sounds good. Thank you very much, ma'am.
All right, you're welcome. And after that, you are excused. So I'm going to send you to breakout room number 5. Christine, you can go to number 5. And then you're excused.
Thank you, Judge.
You're welcome. Have a good day. Is there anyone else back? David Castillo.
Good morning, Judge. I'm here on Mallory Garcia. She was not participating at 9 o'clock. So in the intervening time, I called and texted her and unable to get a hold of her. This
Right,
is
just to be, all right. Court is calling 2021 CR 0242, State of Texas versus Mallory Garcia. If we're going to have announcements from the state, please.
Alexandra Williamson.
From the defense.
David Castillo for defense, not ready. I don't believe I have a defendant or client.
All right, this case was scheduled on March 2nd. The defendant did not appear. The court is recalled the case for March 3rd. This hearing was scheduled at 9 a.m. and is now 11:20 a.m. The defendant has not appeared on the Zoom screen at all today. To the deputies in the courtroom, has there been a Mallory Garcia in the courtroom at all today?
No, Your Honor, she has not.
Defense, have you had any contact with your client?
Yesterday I did, Judge, and she knew about the hearing today, either to Zoom in or to go to the courtroom. And this morning, I have attempted to contact her through phone calls and texts and been unable to.
All right, State.
Yes, Your Honor, we're requesting that you forfeit her bond and issue a warrant.
All right, that will be granted and your client will be remanded without bond. If you have contact with your client and your client presents herself, then the court will reconsider.
Thank you, Judge.
All right, thank you. You're excused.
Thank you. Have a good day.
All right,
Everyone.
you too. Joe Richardson.
Yes, ma'am, I'm here.
Hi, where is your client?
I was told he was on a slow bus, but he would be there before noon.
Okay, all right, we'll just stay on board. We'll see if we can get them. And Norma, can you see if you can get Robert Guyana in here, please?
Judge, I think we worked out a plea. The client accepted. I just want to make doubly sure, but I believe he accepted the offer. And then he said, "Can I have a week?" And I said, "Well, it's up to the judge."
Okay, all right, thank you. We'll see when he comes in.
I assume he'll report in after a week if you give that to him.
Okay.
Thank you.
Judge, can I speak with you in a breakout room?
Yes. I'll meet you in breakout room number 1.
Okay, thank you.
Nope.
All right, Norma?
Yes, ma'am.
I'm going to put in the chat box the attorneys that I need to zoom in.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, I just sent it.
Okay.
Rebecca, I just sent you an email.
Yeah, I just saw it.
Thank you.
I just can't, right now I can't respond. It's not letting me send out anything because
Oh, no problem.
My mailbox is full.
And Norma,
Yes, ma'am.
on that email I just sent, I'm gonna need to have that set. And it'll just be an informal setting because I want to make sure that that defendant doesn't fall through the cracks.
Okay.
All right, and Sean Serene, if I could see you and Alexandra Williamson in breakout room number 1, please.
Yes, Your Honor.
Excuse me, Tom. I got your email. I just can't send out any responses right now. My mailbox is full.
Okay, you just tell me. I'm typing it into this thing.
Caitlin Garcia.
C or K A?
No, K.
Kaitlyn.
Correct, Garcia.
Okay, cool.
And is she
Thank you.
needed today?
Yeah, this afternoon.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll send her a reminder.
Thank you.
Mhm.
What else was I doing? Oh, yeah.
Hey, Norma, I sent you a chat.
Yes, sir. I'm getting to it right now.
Thanks.
David, he can't really tell. It's too high up. Needs to be lower so you can see the desk.
All right, Norma, could you go to breakout room number 1, please?
Yes, ma'am.
Say, Judge, if you want to, we can just ask my client to come back tomorrow if you're tied up afternoon.
No, your client needs to be here today.
Okay.
All right.
He repeatedly assured me he would.
Okay, I tell you what, I'm going to excuse you. Joe, just zoom back in on the same link. And if you'll zoom back in by 1:30, okay?
Okay, I can, I mean, I can wait. I'm not doing anything here. I had my shopping spree yesterday, so if you just want me to stay here and clean my
Okay, if you have
apart-
time to remain, you can remain on the screen.
I'll clean my apartment up as I wait.
Okay, well, I'll stop your video.
So I'm up the kitchen. I'll scrub the sinks down.
All right,
Thank you, Judge Boyd. I appreciate it.
sure.
I'll be here if you need me.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
All right, everyone, I believe the court is going to be recessed until 1:30. I'm going to